Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing your Mercury sextile Saturn reading for you. Now, this takes place on the 12th of May and on the 19th of May, and this is a big time for the focusing of our mind and really getting things done. This brings our productivity like up 1,000% and really has us achieving and succeeding. So, I wanted to do a reading on this time. So, let me know what you think about it in the comment box below. And if you resonate with this reading, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Here we have the Seven of Swords, lies. Yeah. As we're working, as we're getting everything done, this is going to be a time, and I know it's going to seem like such a pain in the rear end, Taurus, but look at everything you have and make sure you kind of like know the step by step of things. And I know, again, that sounds like such a pain. Doesn't mean like you have to know the farm your food was grown from and everything like that, but have people look over their work during this time, because I see this as a lie, but I see it as a lie in when you're putting things together or when you're having everything come together, where somebody's going to be like, yeah, it's done perfect. And when you look at it again, because you know what you're looking for, you're going to be like, how is this perfect? Like, what were you even talking about here? So just know that I don't see, yeah, this can be malicious, or this person just can be a little bit dim. Like they don't know what they're doing and they don't want to ask for help. So they're just going to give you something that they hope can pass. So just be aware of that during this time, because I see it being really frustrating for you. And it's like, okay, let's or have somebody else go and look at things so that you're not bogged down completely during this time. This is going to be a really great time for you to tag team with people that you trust. But yeah, don't accept everything just on somebody's word, because it can be a little bit more complicated than that. And let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, we have a bit of a reading right here. So here we have soulful reversed, we have angelic, and we have beautiful. Beautiful things are very important to us, Taurus. It's just our way. So do be aware of that. Let yourself connect with beauty, because that's going to just be powerful for you. The cycles of what you see as beautiful, the cycles of how you're moving forward in yourself, but surrounding yourself with beauty, connecting with beauty is going to be one of the best things you can do for you during this time. Angelic, your angels are always with you. This is a time, if we step back and say, you know what, angels guide me, your angels will guide you and you'll be super excited. It's like, wow, okay, I feel more centered. If we're having trouble hearing our angels, we need to slow down and we need to see the chaos in our own minds that are keeping us from connecting. And we can say angelic whispers, we can say our gut response, however you like to phrase it for yourself and it feels comfortable, do so. Do so. You don't have to picture your angels whispering in your ears all the time if that's hard for you. If it's something you like and like, oh, that's really cool, then of course do so. But here your angels are talking to you, and they're talking in the way that you can feel, and sometimes in the way that you can hear, but not like you can hear a bell ring, right? In the way that you can hear within your mind their connection. Soul full. Your soul is not full right now. And I know that sounds ominous to say, but it's like I'm not feeding my soul. I'm not feeding myself as I move forward. And that is super frustrating to me. And that's how we're going to feel right now. Like something is a drudgery and we need to see why. So just be aware about this. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. All right, so let's talk about this time astrologically for just a minute. Let me see. Get my camera there situated for everyone. I think that's as good as I can get it right now. So, this is a fantastic time, again, for getting the job done. Mercury sextile Saturn, all right? Even though Mercury is in retrograde, the flow of information during this time is going to be successful and it's going to be strong. So we don't have to worry about that. It's like, oh well, Mercury in retrograde, will it mess this up? No, it won't. It won't mess up the blessings. It might make it a little bit harder at times to fully execute things, or things can get muddled. That's why Spirit is saying, hey, go back, check this, look this over, have somebody that you trust connecting with you and helping you out. This is a time that just brings our mind into focus. We can see the larger scale of things, large scale plans, large scale ideas, everything coming together. And it's like, oh, that needs to be done. It's like we can see ourselves lining everything up like dominoes. And it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Now, I highly suggest writing it down or talking it into your phone, because just because it makes sense during Mercury sextile Saturn doesn't mean that we remember the sense that it makes as we move on. So do be aware of that. We see our goals and our plans and we execute them to the very best of our abilities. We're not really into like half, doing anything during this time. We can also easily fall down rabbit holes, like easily get sucked into information, ideas, wanting to know all about something. And if we use that, now we have to be mindful of what rabbit hole we fall down. So that can also be, something to be aware of. But if we use that information, we can become, a master of a certain craft. Like we can become somebody who really, like a masterpiece. That comes from the word where you would be studying under a master craftsman, or, whomever, and then you would bring them your piece that was your masterpiece, what would get you to the next level. Instead of being an apprentice, would get you to have your own, to be your own teacher, like, to be the teacher, to be able to have your own students. We're going to see this as a time where we're taking things that we've been working on for a really long time, pulling them together. And it's like, oh, wow, this is my masterwork. But we can also see that in our ideas for things, in creating things, in understanding things. It's like, no, I'm moving this. So I'm on a high energy level vibration of productivity and, and connectivity with what I'm learning and what I desire and how I'm piecing it all together. We can feel extra responsible during this time. So just be aware of that. Just be aware that we can feel like, the people that we're responsible for, now we're extra responsible for them. We want to hold on even tighter. But this is also an excellent time for sharing our knowledge. So if we give them our knowledge and say, you know what, you're adults, you can take this knowledge and do with it as you may, and step back, that can be something that can be difficult for us, but also really beneficial. If we're dealing with children here, we can take that knowledge and make it into like a learning game, because we're going to see that kids are extra curious during this time, extra also independent. So they want to take things and say, well, how do I move this forward for me? How do I open up this door for me? How do I do it myself? And yeah, they're just going to be so happy when they can accomplish certain things, certain tasks during this time, or just really anything during this time. It's like accomplishment is huge for them. Traditional values, okay, and a connection with our ancestors is just going to be so strong. Now, if we're adopted or we, don't know our ancestral history, that's okay. They don't think, oh my gosh, this isn't for me. No, we can either be curious about the heritage that we came from, or we can also be really curious about the the energy of the people that raised us, or the energy of the people that were most impactful in our lives. When spirit says ancestors, we think of it very traditionally as these are the ancestors, they're shrines to them, kind of, I always think of it rather Confuciusly. But spirit doesn't have that same idea of things. Our ancestors are important, but it can also be the ancestors of our past life self, of our soul self that help us move forward. So don't feel left out, or don't feel like, oh, this can't apply. No, it definitely can. And however this is manifesting in your life, embrace it. When I was younger, I was obsessed with Ireland for, God knows what reason. I just loved it, loved it, loved it so, so much. And I don't have any Irish in my ancestry at all. So, you know, it's just certain things that you can be drawn to, and it can feel like, oh wow, I came home, because of that. So just, I know that sounds a bit weird, but it is going to be true during this time, and especially if we're looking and we're researching and we're diving down, we're going to see ourselves opening up to these new ideas and to these new connections. All right. This is an excellent time for clear thinking and good judgment. So be aware of that. We can be highly organized. We can have great, concentration and memory during this time, but also great communicative skills, like a great way of being able to bounce off ideas, even though we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde. This is excellent time. This is an excellent, excellent time for business dealings. This is a deal time for signing contracts, for negotiation, for long-term investment, and long-term plans. So if there's any big things that you need done, try to do them around, the 12th of May, around the 19th of May, well, on the 12th of May or the 19th of May. And also while we're still in this Taurus season, which has us very kind of like wealth focused, or, sensibility focused, because then we move into Gemini, which can be a little bit, the energy could be harder to pin down. Taurus energy is pinned down, focused, determined. Gemini energy could be like, oh, well, what would that be like? And oh, let me think about this. And oh, I have 18 million questions to ask. So just be aware of that. Common sense is strong during this time, and we have profound discussions and information, coming our way. Just this sense of, I'm taking it all in, I'm learning it all, I'm understanding it all. And that's what the Empress really shows. It shows here that we are creating profound energy. We're also going to be very comfortable in the sacred feminine space of creativity, of insight, of ideas, of it all coming together, of us seeing things in different ways. But we're also going to be able to birth forward ideas, to be able to say, well, what if I create this? And what if I do that? And what if I brought this into the world? And what if I left that idea to like stew on the back burner for a little bit more? And we're going to have the sense of power, but the sense of power through our own creative abilities, through our own way of seeing different avenues, different ideas, looking at things in a new way. With the Nine of Cups, a small wish is being granted. There's a sense of power coming to our table, a sense of us being moved forward in a way that we feel blessed. We feel like there's a celebration. We're the host or the hostess of it. We're moving people forward. We're moving ourselves forward. There's going to be something sweet like honey melting on our lips. When you have a bit of honey on your lips and you lick it off and it's so sweet and delicious, that's what this time is like. It's like, wow, this is sweet. There can be a lot to do. There can be a lot that we are focusing on, and that we say and see, I am the head of this, or I need to make sure that this happens correctly, rightly, justly, type of thing. And yeah, we do. We take on a lot of responsibilities during this time, and we put a lot on ourselves, but we're going to see that we handle that responsibility well. Okay. And we also have to make sure that we don't take everything on and say, well, it's my responsibility. Like, I'm the Empress. It's my responsibility. I rule all of this. And so it will all then end on me. It's like, no, be kinder, be gentler to yourself, but also know that there is profound determination, focus, that, that sensual, beautiful Taurus energy that you are absolutely a part of, Taurus, that is you, very much lends herself to being seen as the Empress. Okay. So you can easily be seen as the person who gets things done, as the person who's kind of like, the den mom, or the den dad, like that type of, I'm taking responsibility for this and I'll make sure things come together and people come together. It moves us to the Fool. We have to move forward. We have to. This is going to be a time where we look at things, we're weighing the risks, we're looking at the responsibilities, and we're moving forward. We're moving forward for us. We're jumping hurdles. We're going after where we need to be. The Three of Pentacles Are we really going to work well with others? No, not really. During this time, we kind of look at our tasks and say, okay, I have my task, you have your task. It can be a bit bothersome to teach because we want to move forward in certain ways, but we will still be good teachers, if not at times having to remind ourselves, okay, slow down, it's okay, center yourself. But we're also going to see that things that we have been kind of saving, or we can say, oh, I'm saving this for special, it starts to come out now. And yeah, that's it. It's not like our savings comes out. It's like, I've been saving this for special. You can't possibly use this now. And now we're like, no, 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 no. It's special now. I'm special now. The King of Cups reverse, we can be having difficulty with water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We can also be having a bit of difficulty with not having our emotions be all over the place, or yeah, not having ourselves be overwhelmed by our emotions. This can be in a positive way, or yeah, this can, okay, so maybe not a positive way to be overwhelmed by our emotions, but this can come out in a less aggressive way, like through tears or through, needing quiet time, or this can come out in anger and frustration and just feeling completely overwhelmed. So do be mindful about this. We want to lead by example, but we also feel like there's only so much that we can be responsible for. Emotionally, we've taken on a lot, and that's too much for us. Like, we need to step back a little bit. Because with the Two of Pentacles, we're not going to be able to balance everything. We're not going to be able to have it all, fall right into place. And if you see that foxtail right behind him, there is a sense of like, there's trickery here in everything that I have to balance. There's trickery here in everything that's being thrown my way, especially when it comes to work and getting things done. That's why Spirit's like, hey, have yourself, like, you check it, okay, but have somebody that you really trust and that also people really trust check it, so that they don't think, oh, Taurus, you just have like, an agenda out for this person. No, you don't. All right. You're as fair as possible. All right. And here, it's like you're balancing too much. Some things are going to fall and some things have to fall. And once you stand back up again, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. So just know that. Our subconscious message to be mindful of is the Hermit reversed. We're really going to want to kind of close ourselves away, say enough is enough, I'm done. And Spirit's like, no, don't do that. But there's also this energy of like, I want to close the door, but then I want to, open the door and shout out from it and say, like, this is wrong and that's wrong and I'm frustrated here. Spirit is saying to find balance within yourself through quiet, through meditation, right? Through hermitage. But there's also this sense here of not hiding ourselves away. And because what Spirit is showing me, I might have to pause a minute because I'm trying to take in everything Spirit is showing, is that it isn't like I'm going into quiet solitude because I'm doing this for me. It's almost like I'm closing the door because I'm just so frustrated with everybody else. I'm done. And now Spirit is saying to us, no, don't shut yourself away because some, fools upset you. This is a time to see what you want and what you desire and to move forward in that determination and in that focus. It moves us to our subconscious message from Spirit, which is celestial. We're looking for a lot of answers in the stars, which is funny because we're doing planetary, alignments here with Mercury sextile Saturn. And this can be a time where a lot of the answers that we're getting, a lot of answers that make a lot of sense to us, it comes from our intuition. It comes from our grounded understanding. And that's going to be really important for us, Taurus. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Four of Pentacles. Now, we can really be blocking ourselves off our chakra energy or chi flow. Okay. So be mindful about this during this time, that it can be very easy for us to be like, enough is enough, I'm done, and have imbalances in our energy, in our chi, in our chakras, because we're done. This is also vampiric energy. Now, if we are naturally empathic healing people, we can just feel drained and drained and drained until, again, there's a hardness that is around us. And if we aren't naturally empathic healing people, this is vampiric energy that we've been dealing with that has been draining us, that has been overwhelming us, that has been stopping us from moving forward the way that we want to. And what we're looking at here is like, no, I'm not, being held responsible for this, or no, those words that were said to me when I was younger aren't true. And we're starting to see the vampiric energy that drained us, that, tried to ruin us, be lifted away. And there's power in us because of that. There's insight in us because of that. It's like, no, I'm not living in this chaos and hurt anymore. All right. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. And do let me know if you like these type of readings in the comment box below. All right. So now let's clear the energy space. Let's end this reading by clearing the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all, and God bless. Bye.